12th of July 2023, Ufa, Russia, the capital of the Republic of Bashkortostan. My name is Sergey Baklikov, you're watching Baklikov Live, and today, this evening, we are in Chernikovka, the district which was mostly developed in 1950s. So it's such a historically, a Stalinist district. However, right here, right in this part of Chernikovka district, this is one of the very last examples of the late Soviet architecture, late Soviet functionalism. The house book, it's or like the building book. Now here is located the business center, which is called Knishka, the book, because you see it having a form of like open book, looks similar to those buildings on the Novy Arbat street in Moscow, Fabrika Будущего, the fabric of the future. That's what is written here. Okay, let's take a walk. Local time 8:04. I'm beginning my walk here in Chernikovka, and this is already not the first time I'm taking you here. It is located in the north of the city. It's like northern outskirts of Ufa. I was taking you to the historic city center, mostly the Lenin Street. I also was taking you to the Slovakia Square yesterday. Then we went down to amphitheater and the embankment of Bela River. And I was taking you for the boat rides. Today we are in Chernikovka, the northern district, northern relatively to Ufa, the district that was developed mostly for the workers of actually the largest oil and chemical plants here in Ufa, and also for the workers of one of the most strategic enterprises. Now it's called joint stock company, having a form of joint stock company called UMPO. Well, it's a Russian abbreviation, but it means Ufa Engine Building Industrial Association. They are making the engines for SU jets, Su-27, Su-35 and more, and also they are making the parts for helicopters like Ka. So I think I don't need to mention that, in fact, this company is under the sanctions starting from 2022 as one of the most strategic enterprises of Russia. Hello Leningrad, the best, Spunky SY, Kim Lloyd George, Carlos, Mel, Ryan, Mary. Everybody, I'm saying hi. Okay, that's Petersburg, which is all over Russia. Petersburg and Magnit are the largest chains of the grocery supermarkets in Russia. No matter where you go, everywhere there is Petersburg or Magnits, or if there is no Petersburg, there is at least Monetka. You remember recently they constructed and opened Monetka even in Tevtimanova village, where I was taking you to. Actually, Tevtimanova, the way to Tevtimanova goes through these districts, because Tevtimanova is located in northeast from Ufa, and this is how you go. This is how you go to Tevtimanova. Okay, in this part, here is mostly a 1980s, 1990s buildings, but we are going to its historic part, where mostly developed the buildings in the style of 1950s, 1960s. Before 1950s, it was not even a part of the city. It was just a village called Chernikovka, and the land here used to belong like to the guy called whose last name was Chernikov. So that's why such a name, Chernikovka, just because the land here before used to be under control of the guy with the last name Chernikov. Well, historically it was pretty much developed already since 1950s, as I told you, for the workers of the largest oil and chemical plants, and of course the Ufa Engine Building Industrial Association, which is now under the sanctions as one of the most significant strategic enterprises. You know, Ufa, the thing is, Ufa is located pretty far from the west of Russia, and for this reason, during the World War II, the war never got to Ufa, and in Ufa, in the years of World War II, here was evacuated a lot of plants, a lot of enterprises, and Ufa was one of those towns which had a very big meaning in terms of like being the rear of World War II. The rear, like being far from the front lines. Well, it was safe to produce the stuff here, to produce the stuff for the needs of World War II. Hello, Jan Olaf Johansson, Sovereign Joe, everybody. Supermarket Yarmarka. It looks more like a local chain of supermarkets. Yarmarka, what means fair. Apteka.ru. Apteka.ru, it's the Russian chain of drugstores. Rosneft, Russian oil. But this is one pretty boring. That's what I'm thinking. Such a store. And here I'm coming to the place where the trams are turning around. Here I have the message that the connection is weak. Not sure why it's that. Normally the connection always was good here. It's not the first time I'm taking you here. It's actually one nice district I love visiting from time to time. I love it architecturally. I love it historically. Yeah, you see? So this is the place where the trains, the trams are turning around. The tram ring. Now might we will see the tram here? Maybe not. Now in the evening, probably the interval of the trams are kind of long. Well, here is already where we can see one of those 1950s typical buildings. The Stalinist 1950s neoclassicism, you see that? Those who are watching my live stream for a long time probably already begun to understand, can read the architecture. Okay, meanwhile here is a modern building. It's just mostly all about KFC. KFC here. KFC little by little began the rebranding to Rostiks, but exactly in Ufa, I never yet saw any KFC was rebranded to Rostiks. In Moscow I saw. Hello, Steven Mucha. Hello, Order Out of Peace, The Meek, Tiberius, Claudius, Summit J, Ashok Poto, Dale Tucker, Laszlo, George Berdas. By the way, nice day today. It's a really nice day. And finally, not as hot as it used to be on Monday and Tuesday. On Monday it was plus 41 degrees Celsius, and it was registered as the hottest day in Ufa for the last 50 years. Yes, 41 degrees Celsius. It's pretty much for Ufa. Hello, Silvana Hore, John Boy Cats, Barber Box. Barber Box, it's a barber shop. What's this? Ashkhana. It's a cafe, actually. That's another branch of Ufa State Petroleum Technical University. One of top universities in Bashkortostan. Let's say one of the guys who founded the Lukoil company, which is now one of the leading oil companies in Russia, Lukoil. He started here in Ufa State Petroleum University. How is your humidity there? Well, the humidity here kind of high. Not so high, but I think like higher than average. Cafe. The cafe. Samarkand cafe. Halal. Eastern foods. Halal. I already told you what does it mean, halal. It means that there you can get meat. Well, beef, but that beef is blessed by the Muslim priest. I already told you that here in the Republic of Bashkortostan are living as Russians, as Bashkirs and Tatars. Traditionally, Russians are an Orthodox Christians, and Tatars and Bashkirs, they are traditionally Sunni Muslims. And so, in fact, the Muslims have to eat the meat which is blessed. When it's blessed, it's like considered a halal meat, halal food. This is the main historic branch of the Ufa State Petroleum Technical University. I will show you now. Whoa, it's windy again today. What the hell? All right. Bring back memory. Yeah, back in the days I could go to one of those technical faculties of the Ufa State Petroleum Technical Universities, and now to work on the drills or something, but I got to the public relations faculty. Hi, John Beasley. Design is very USSR. It's Stalinist design. It's Stalinist. Here is the sculptures. The sculptures which are depict the specialists in oil industry. What building is that? As I said just 2 minutes ago, John Boy, this is the main historic branch of the Ufa State Petroleum Technical University. Bashkortostan is full of oil. Oil is the main industry here. Oil, chemistry, metallurgy, and the engine building. As I told you, here in this neighborhood also located the Ufa Engine Building Industrial Association, which is making the engines for SU jets and KA helicopters. And now it is under the sanctions of the United States, of the European Union. This is Komarov Street. It's named after Soviet cosmonaut Komarov, who unfortunately had a tragic destiny Once he was in Ufa and visited this street, and the street is named after him. And there's the monument which is called the Grieving Mother, dedicated to the mothers who are grieving about their sons. Who was killed during World War II. And there we can see the minarets of Lala Tulpan Mosque, while Ar-Rahim Mosque, which I used to show you before, is still not finished, and that one is going to be the largest. This is still the largest, at least like active mosque in Ufa and in the Republic of Bashkortostan. Lala Tulpan means blooming tulip. That monument to the Grieving Mother is a part of this park which is called a Victory Park. Hello Neil MacDonald, hello good fella. Jan Olaf Johansson, thank you for the super chats. The Muslim Sunday is on Friday. Is the weekends different between the different beliefs? Not really, not really, not really. Here, like normally, for both Muslims and Christians, it's like a standard work week. It's like people here are working from Monday to Friday and having their day offs on Saturday and Sunday. This Victory Park is also a part of the original planning of this district, when here was coming the architects from St. Petersburg, back then Leningrad, headed by the head architect Margarita Kupriyanova. Do we still have the artillery pieces here in the Victory Park? Of course, of course. Why somebody will removing it from here? Local time 8:26. Lala Tulpan, the blooming tulip. That's what it means. And the tulip considered as the flower of Renaissance. Muslim religion. Here we are now in fact on a high hill of Bela River. Later you will see that when we will get to the main parts of the Victory Park. Hi Mark Morris. Les Gillard on Bird 13. Thank you for joining. For now only 200 people are watching. Hey, I'm wondering, Where are all those people who loves telling me that, hey Sergey, only show the historic city centers, okay? So, well, first of all, that's absolutely not truth. It's just not truth. And let's say now I show not the historic city center. And where are all those people saying like, wow, 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 you're showing us the outskirts, wow. Okay, here is the bicycle lane and the lane for the walkers. The birches, and there's located the museum of military glory, dedicated to a World War II. I remember I was taking you there like 6 years ago. There was just a separate video all about it. I was getting inside. Yeah, you can find it, the Museum of Military Glory, Ufa. If you want to see what's inside, now it's already closed. The time is 8:30. But you can go and check it out on my Real Rush channel. The Museum of Military Glory, Музей боевой славы. Alright. Я люблю музей. I love the museum. Okay. Pony rides. The star. Okay. So look at this. The Victory Park. Highway label. Guardian of Chaos. 1941, 1945. Forever, forever. In every big and middle-sized town, and even in some small towns, you can find the Victory Park. The Victory Parks with a lot of monuments in memory of World War II, because the victory in World War II we've got for the price of 27 million people died. Why do you consider birch trees the soul of Russia? Because just there's a lot of them in Russia, and that's why it's considered as pretty much a Russian tree, just because a lot of them. Here you can find a lot of examples of the military techniques in this park. as the ones from the times of World War II, as more modern. It's all the expired old military vehicles, tanks and battle machines. It's allowed to climb them. The kids love climbing these military techniques. Many benches, ice cream, water, pony rides, electric vehicles rides for the kids. Hi Ali Mawai, Necrotol 777. Hi Jesse and Wilbur. Alright, and here goes more like an artistic monuments there. Scooters, electric vehicles for kids. This is the main fronts, the battlefronts. And that is the memorial which shows the numbers. How many men were mobilized for World War II from different districts of the Republic of Bashkortostan of Russia. In total in Bashkortostan, over 50 districts, as far as I know, 50 districts, and from every district were mobilized the guys, and there's a certain names of the guys who got the star of the hero of the Soviet Union. You see, the thing is, back in the Soviet days, the star of the hero of the Soviet Union Резидент уфимского Чикаго, спасибо за показ родных мест. Привет из Америки. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Спасибо. Well, it was a highest award in the Soviet Union, the hero of the Soviet Union. And also we had the guy who got 2 stars, twice the hero of the Soviet Union, Musa Gareev, the pilot professional. He returned alive from World War II and lived in Ufa, and he died only in the end of 1980s. He all the time kept working in the aviation industry, and now the real grave, I mean like real grave, not just the monument to Musa Gareev, but the real grave is located here, just in about 150 meters from here. The stela in memory of the heroes. Of the heroes of World War II. The eternal flame. This flame burning here 24/7, 365. The eternal flames in memory of the heroes of World War II, who are considered like, look, not everyone is officially the hero of the Soviet Union, but every participant of World War II anyway, the hero. And this is the monument to Alexander Matrosov. It's dedicated to his acts of bravery when, with his own body, he closed the position of the Nazis, giving a time to another soldiers to make a needed moves in the battle. Alexander Matrosov. Yes, glory to the heroes of World War II. Glory to Russia. Okay, and from here we can see that we are now on the hill, a kind of high hill of Bela River. It's like it's not in the northwest of Ufa. Белая. Белая means white. White river. This is the longest river of Ufa. If you will look at the map, you see that actually it begins from its confluence with rivers of Russia. There's still an argues between the scientists which river is bigger in Russia, Kama or Volga. So it goes like from the north of the Republic of Bashkortostan and until the south, and then yet to the east. Belaya. I told you that the real graveyard is located of Musa Gareev, located in this park. So there it is. Musa Gareev, twice the hero of the Soviet Union, officially. There is also a nice panorama. You see the trees are getting over here, and we can see a nice panorama of Belaya River. All right, the grave of twice the hero of the Soviet Union, Musa Gareev. His buste and the graveyard. Yeah, nobody except Musa Gareev got an honor to be buried right in the park, in the Victory Park, in his motherland Ufa, in his motherland district. All right, and here, awesome, whoa, awesome panorama. Just look at this. Here goes the railway line. There goes Belaya River. Actually, yesterday we were on absolutely other bank of Ufa River. Hello, Marsha. Hello, everybody who will continue joining this live stream. I don't see all those mofos who love telling me that I only film in the centers, okay? But I'm happy to see all the regular subscribers. Okay, and that's where we can see a part of those oil and chemical plants, you see. So in fact, the chemical plants, oil and chemical plants, are located like even more north than these districts. So it's like, I believe some of them are even still considered to be outside of administrative borders of Ufa. Okay, but now let's return to the residential parts of the district. I now will take you to the boulevard, and then from the boulevard to Первомайская Street, what means the 1st of May Street. By the way, back in the days, it was called Stalin Avenue, Проспект Сталина. Hi question more, hi human, hi kids. There's the stadium, which is called Нефтяник and Oiler. Yeah, for the last 15 years, Ufa had a dramatic history of the development of the football, like a professional football. Since 1960s, Ufa was exceptionally the hockey city. The local hockey club Slavat Ulaev was always one of the strongest hockey clubs in Russia, but never had the professional football team. The situation started like changing in the beginning of 2010s. It has started changing, and eventually football club Ufa got into the highest league, now called Russian Football Premier League. And there was a year when Ufa demonstrated a really good results, but recently Ufa was kicked off by the results of Russian Football Premier League to the first league. And guess what? This year they were the last, even in a so-called first league. Okay, so they are in some kind of like second league, which I don't even know how it's called now. The legendary T-34, the tank which has changed the movement of World War II. Lightweight, speedy, and effective T-34, the legendary T-34. And so this is how ingloriously football club Ufa got out even of the first league. Yes. And now, in theory, it will need as a minimum 2 years for them to return to Russian Football Premier League, because now the next season they will have the season 2023-24. They will have to play in that second league, which is called something like Euro League or something. Yeah, regional Euro League. And if they will be in top, so only next year they will get to the first league. And in theory, in best case scenario, they will play in the first league. And only if they will give a good result in the first league, like they will take a first, second place, they will return to Russian Football Premier League. So the return to the Russian Football Premier League, in best case scenario, we can wait only in 2 years from now. Elvis Ibrahimovic asking, what about ice hockey, Slavat Ulaev? What about Slavat Ulaev? There's not much problems. Salavat Yulayev is always as minimum, like upper middle, okay? If any year they are not leaders, then they are at least like upper middle. This season they actually had a good season. But they were kicked off the playoff already in the first round. And by the way, really a lot of guys from Ufa, they used to play in NHL, being completely raised and educated in the sports school of Salavat Yulayev. For example, Игорь Kravchuk, Vadim Sherefyanov, Andrei Zuzin, Nikolai Tsulygin, and now Andrei Vasilevsky. In fact, now the best goalkeeper, officially the best goalkeeper of NHL, Andrei Vasilevsky. He was raised in the sports school, in the hockey school of Ufa, and started his career in Ufa, in Salavat Yulayev Ufa, and then was drafted to NHL, now playing for Tampa Bay Lightnings, and already twice the Stanley Cup winner. Also, of course, Simak. Shamefully, I now forgot the name of Simak, who also played in NHL. I think Igor Simak. Okay, now through these boulevards we are going in direction of Pervomayskaya Street, the 1st of May Street. Elvis Ibrahimovic, are you okay? I just told you that Salavat Yulayev always, at least in the upper middle category. And you are asking if they are still in NHL? Are you okay? Are you even frigging listening to me? Hello, Andre. Yeah, so Andrei Zuzin, Simak, Vadim Sherefyanov, Nikolai Tsulygin, who else? No, of course, Andrei Vasilevsky, the guys from Ufa who played in NHL. Your English is kinda good, thank you. I ask, is there a steel cage shell? Dude, of course here is steel cage shell. For whatever reason you are thinking it's not KHL. Hello, Stacy O'Shills. And KHL still the largest and most professional hockey league after NHL. Hello, Harun Shah. Do the Russian players have to criticize Putin to be able to play in NHL? I don't think so. seems like KHL, NHL, one of not many sport organizations in the world which is staying adequate and like really separate the sports and politics. This is one of, to me, this is one of the most disappointing things of like about the sports, about the world sports. I always thought that the sport, at least like the real, like the world sports, is like completely out of politics, but it isn't so at all. And it seems like it wasn't that, at least since 1980s, when, let's say, the United States used to boycott the 1980s Olympics, Summer Olympics in Moscow. Okay, that's absolutely unacceptable. So in fact, we now don't have the real sport institution in the world anymore. For example, how can you really now, for example, without the Russian sportsmen who are in so many categories historically were one of the best ever, especially, of course, I'm talking about the hockey, I'm talking about the athletics, I'm talking about biathlon and many more. Okay, I mean, how now can it be considered, let's say the Olympic Games, how they are now can be considered as full-scale Olympic Games when the Russians can't participate? And they can't participate just because they are Russians. That's even more weird. All right, meanwhile, it's 9 o'clock, about 30 minutes until the sun sets. We continue enjoying, look, this 1950s Stalinist districts in the north of Ufa called Chernikovka. It was here planned and developed by the architects from Leningrad. That's how back then it was called, St. Petersburg. Everything here was controlled by the head architects Margarita Kupriyanova. It's a really great planning, really great proportions of the trees, parks, buildings, monuments. What is that building? That building is so-called Palace of Culture. The Palace of Culture, named after Sergo Ordzhonikidze. But now it's called like House of Youth. The House of Youth. Okay, well, this is traditionally the place for the local concerts, performances, the place to have a cultural life. So how do you like this neighborhood? It's now, you know, architecturally the most preserved district in Ufa. Stalinist neoclassicism at its best. So now this is considered as the Palace of Culture of Ufa State Petroleum Technical University. But initially it was just a Palace of Culture named after Sergo Ordzhonikidze. Well, all local concerts, performances were here and still is. This is also like a Stalinist neoclassicism, a typical architecture for so-called palaces of culture. And on the thumbnail for this live stream, you can see the picture when these trees were yet so small. Look what happens almost 70 years after. They are now giant and tall. Shawarma, shashlik, what means barbecue. The fountain. Traditionally, the fountains attract the attention of the kids. Also, it's pretty fresh here. It's pretty fresh. The music, I can hear the classical music. That's already the final stretch to Первомайская Street, the 1st of May Street. 1st of May Street, dedicated to the 1st of May, the holiday of spring and labor. Yeah, big holiday since the Soviet days. It's the day to glorify the spring and the labor. The 1st of May, that's the time when already to all the regions of Russia comes the real spring. The real spring when it's already warm, when everything is blooming, and it's the beginning of a big season, let's say for the farmers. Or vice versa, for people to go for a summer vacation. So that's why the 1st of May is like really big holiday. I told you before, it's a nationwide holiday, usually lasts for 4 days. Yeah, usually they unite us with just a regular weekends, and that's it. and usually it's like 2 days, but getting united with the regular weekends, we have like 4 days. Pamela Piszczyk, hello Pamela. Hello to you to Canada. Hello from Ufa. Ufa, the capital of the Republic of Bashkortostan of Russia. Jan Olaf Johansson, Grigory Ordzhonikidze. I think it's another Ordzhonikidze because that Ordzhonikidze is Sergo. All right, look at that. Hi guys, всем привет. He said, say hi to your subscribers. Okay, and so I allowed them to do that. Look, here now we can see the buildings, 8-storied buildings, in Russian language called восьмиэтажки, like 8 buildings. There was the time back in the end of 1950s. Well, this is 1953, 1954. There was the time these residential buildings were the tallest in Ufa, the tallest, until like 1963, until they are constructed. That 9-storied building I used to show you before, it's on the corner of Lenin Street and Revolution Street, not far from the office of Ural-Siberian Bank. I remember how back in the days there was the music store called Rhythm, the Rhythm. I remember how there I've purchased the album of Basement Jaxx back in 1999. It's called Remedy, the album called Remedy. And also I was buying there the disc. It was such a compilation called Disco House from the series called DNK, Deep Night Club. They also had from that series the music like Speed Garage, Groovy House, Pumping House, Hard House. Yeah, those were the days. Stalinist neoclassicism at its best. Now here is Pochta Postmail Bank and the Postmail itself and the children's library, Детская библиотека, children's library. The world of electronics. Here you can see these different electric things and electronics. The lights, the bulbs, the remote control, the batteries. O'Hara. Hey, this is the store of Joe O'Hara. He is the subscriber of my channel. That's where they sell the coats. Apteka, drugstore. Smoky markets. Oh, different vapes and hookahs. The Syrian shawarma. They are making shawarma Syrian style here. One of the bus stops. The Nifaz buses, produced in the Neftekamsk car factory, Neftekamsky Автозавод. And by the way, tomorrow, if everything will go the way I planned, I will take you to one of the northernmost towns of the Republic of Bashkortostan called Neftekamsk. Neftekamsk means like the oil city, oil town on Kama River. Rosa Opt, it's a wholesale flower store. Wine master and alcohol store. Faberlic. Молчание телят. The Silence of Will. It's a burger and beer place. Another drugstore. Мясо индейки, a turkey meat. Here mostly they specializes in a turkey meat. All right, everywhere, no matter where I go, everywhere we can meet those idiots who are listening the music that loud in their cars. Cyber and coffee. Oh, 24/7 cyber club. Okay, they are drinking coffee and playing the games there. Another O'Hara store. They now have the sales, so you guys hurry up for the summer sales. For the reason they are selling mostly the winter coats and jackets now in the summertime. It's the time of sales. Sushi wok. Here they are making sushi and wok. And this is Ufa meat combinate. I think it's one of the biggest meat combinates in Ufa. UMKK. Dudes, this is Sberbank, the oldest and largest bank in Russia. Some balconies already require the renovation. The car store, car details, windows. Ваше Величие, your greatness. Look, this is the store for the people with extra size, with extra sizes. okay? I mean those ones who are over 3XL. Your greatness. That's how they decided to call it. It's considered to be a game of words. Whoa, look at that clouds. I mean, what a color. It's like really orangish. Is it true that the majority of women in Russia are skinny? Dude, you could easily see that even in my videos. Are you blind? Or are you blind? You let me know if you are blind, because then it's a game changer. Cyclists, kvass, inviting to KFC, to work for KFC. Alright, now you will see the movie theater, local movie theater called Победа, the victory. It is constructed here in the end of 1940s. But now it's getting rebuilt to the music school. I remember the days when I was coming here, when it was the movie theater. And it's really sad that they removed the original doors from here and now just placed this plastic shit. Okay, and about from here already begins the typical 5-storied Khrushchev, so-called Khrushchev residential buildings, Khrushchevka. Khrushchev writes after the death of Stalin, when he replaced him, he started to fight with the extras in architecture. He considered the Stalinist residential buildings can be simpler and so cheaper in construction, cheaper for the budget, and faster to build. He decided that, okay, let the residential buildings will be more plain but cheaper and fast to build, and this is something which will allow more people, more Soviet people, to get their own apartments. And back in 1950s, that was really important actually, because that was less than 10 years since the end of World War II, when a half of the country was ruined. A pawn shop, another meat combinate, Kuyedinsky, another postmail bank, OTP bank, Green Spark, everything for mobile devices, Universal Store, Lukoshka, Home Credit Bank. The supermarkets here 24/7. Home Credit Bank. And here we came to the square of Ilyich. Ilyich means the square of Lenin, because Lenin, he is Vladimir, but he is, yes, Vladimir Ilyich. It's patronymic. Here in Russia, we always use the patronymics, okay? And Vladimir Ilyich means that Ilya was his father, Ilya. How is it without Lenin? Lenin, the leader of world proletariat and the founder of the Soviet Union. I remember here was the club called Nevsky. Just yet 10 years ago, here was the club called Nevsky. It's not that dedicated to Alexander Nevsky, but the thing is, here is the street dedicated to Alexander Nevsky. This street is actually Nevsky Street. You see, Nevsky, he is commemorated everywhere. Our great prince Alexander Nevsky. The monument to Lenin. Here he traditionally points on the way to the bright future of Russia. This is such a typical late Soviet square. Not even much changed here. I think pretty soon it will be completely renovated, like so many places now in Ufa and all over Russia. But for now, it still looks absolutely the same it used to look like back in 1980s. And I'm really looking forward for when they will start the reconstruction of this amazing fountain with the Soviet mosaics. You know, even the head of the Republic of Bashkortostan, several years ago, he said that it will be renovated. But they never even started yet. I'm coming here every freaking year, and I'm waiting to see the work is started, but no yet. But I believe that soon Yeah, we all saw what happened with the fountain, with the murals like this, let's say, in Vedenha in Moscow, and how great that looks like now. So we definitely have a great specialists who can rebuild this, and even to recover some of the pieces which are just gone. For example, here, okay. So I'm sure they will find a lot of photographs from 1980s, 1970s, and they will be able to recreate it. Fortunately, in Russia, is a big school of, how to say, restorers, the guys who are making the renovations, restorations, and they will do everything. All right, and this is another typical palace of culture. It's called Chemist, but it's already typical for 1970s. You see, already consisted more of, concrete, metal and glass. Also like the place for local performances, and most of the time the place for different so-called sections. For example, the theater studios, the dances, the sections of robotechnics and stuff like that. Yes, it's called the Chemist because this is the palace culture, which is initially constructed for the workers of chemical plant, the Ufa chemical plant. There's another stadium. It's called Stроитель, the builder. And this is it's a brand new short track center named after Semyon Yelistratov. And there is the builder, the stadium, the builder. I remember how about 7 years ago I was taking you there for the speedway on the ice. Hi, Steven Leiden. Meanwhile, I'm coming back to Первомайская Street. The Stalin cars in Moscow were all renovated, but they are so expensive now. Yes, the Stalinist residential buildings were as good as they are still pretty expensive even now. Big rooms, tall ceilings, thick walls, and just a nice buildings from the outside with all those columns, fretworks, porticos. Yeah, dudes. Meanwhile, the Khrushchev buildings already getting demolished, especially in Moscow. a friend of mine living in this residential building, Dmitry. I remember how 3 years ago we've met him here. Then 2 years ago we've met him here. But last year we already never met him. And this year we also never met him. I was thinking it is already becoming to be a tradition. But no, seems like it was just the real accidents, not tradition. So, and this street will over next to the park. It's called Pervomaysky. It is located behind another Palace of Culture, the Palace of Culture of the engine builders, because that was the Palace of Culture special for the workers of OFA Engine Building Industrial Association. At least in 2019 there works 25,000 employees. This is one of the most strategic enterprises in Russia, and it is now under the sanctions. Now it is having a legal status of joint stock company, OFA Engine Building Industrial Association. They are making the engines for the best Russian jets, Su jets, and the parts for the helicopters like KA. No, where is your friends? Asian looking dudes. Rais. Well, Rais is still in OFA, but I just never met him. In fact, I was in center of OFA only once so far, only on Friday. Then I went to Teftimanova. Yesterday I went just on the embankments, and today I'm here in the, in fact, outskirts of OFA. Okay, and usually Rais is not hanging out here. Usually he is hanging out in the center of the city. What the hell? Look, what they use. To attract the girls into their beauty salon. Красное, белое, red and white. This is a huge chain of alcohol supermarkets, which is actually cheapest in Russia, cheapest. I think for the reason they are selling a huge volumes of alcohol, they are getting the cheapest wholesale price for the alcohol, and that's why they can have a low prices but still to be in profits. Красное, белое. Oh, by the way, two guys there, and now the State Duma wants officially to take a law which will prohibit to ride the scooter, electric scooter, being two on scooter, being more than one person on a scooter. And this is actually makes sense, because I actually saw some videos of the accidents of the guys on the electric scooters. This is just not safe. I can say that the law for the electric scooters, little by little, becoming like more strict. Because let's say, especially in the big cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg, there is now too much of them, and they all riding the sidewalks. A complete change of the water pipes. Was recently the winds at here. It seems like that. Whoa. Hot box vape shop. Now really much of the vape shops in Russia. Many people are now switched to the vapes, because they are thinking this is something what's not as bad in terms of the health, for the health, than the cigarettes. In the same time, allow them to keep their, habit going, their bad habit going. And also in many places where the cigarettes are prohibited, the vape is not. But now I see more and more places they prohibit the vapes as well, the vapes and electronic cigarettes. This is a local Burger King in Chernikovka. Сделай остро, make it spicy. Hi, man. Да, ты в Ютубе, man. Mama, I'm in YouTube, he says. Hi, Ashok Potsu. The time is 9:03. Sport is everything. I remember last year they were just beginning the construction of this building, the medical center. Now it seems like they are close to finishing. Ufa is changing for us. The medical center. Human, everything is happening so fast. Yeah, dudes. Yes, it is. Oh, whoa, wow. It seems like recently it was a really strong wind. We see already the second tree which is falling down. Wow.
Куда ты поехал, дурак? Идиот, там дерево, блядь!
Hi, William Kennedy. What do you think about BRICS? My country, Brazil, is a great friend of yours. So, what can I think about the union of the countries which are not unfriendly to Russia? Of course, I think positive about it. Meanwhile, I'm getting closer to the Palace of Culture of the Ufa Engine Building Industrial Association. Fitness studio. Come on, girls. The boys love it. When you're sporty. House. It's a local chain of beer stores. A big selection of beers on tap. girls with the dogs. More ladies with the dogs. The school of fast reading. Yeah, here they teach the kids to read really fast. So-called fast reading. Kazan Express. It seems like a original response to the services like Wildberries, Ozone, and Yandex Market, if I understand it right. Hello to Nayan, an Armenian in the US. Nice square. Meanwhile, it becomes dark, and we're enjoying Ufa and its northern outskirts, the historic, originally 1950s Stalinist district. Hello, Varianta. Sean Kane. Further north we go. More early buildings here. That's already 1980s. Steven Mucha, nice to hear you enjoy Ufa. We are finishing the 1st of May Street. The end is already there. The banquet hall, the restaurant called 12 Chairs. They're supposed to have a summer terrace here, cafe bar. Okay, order 3 glasses of beer and get an appetizer for free. Sounds not bad. So in front of us the Palace of Culture, which is back in the days, in the beginning of 1980s, was constructed special for the, how to say, like cultural time of the workers of OFA engine building industrial association. That's a huge plant just in less than a kilometer from here. There, well, you don't see it from here, and you just can look at that on a map. You know, in our days, I'm not sure if I have like really go to that and film it. Just can't be questions. It's one of the most strategic enterprises in Russia. Well, enough to say they are making the engines for Su jets and for Ka helicopters. 25,000 people working there. Maybe now even more, because that's the data from 2019. Imagine how significant is that if it's now under the sanctions. One of the most strategic enterprises in the whole country. Okay, I walked all the way through Первомайская street. And we now will get to the park. Первомайский park. The 1st of May park. And there's like a really new neighborhoods. The Palace of Culture of OFA Engine Building Industrial Association. Right behind this, there's the park. That's the skate park. Johnny Dali. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny Dali seems like the real lover of the outskirts of Russian cities. Это не 360, это обыкновенный iPhone. У меня есть 360 камера, но я не люблю 360. 360 я использую только для того, чтобы потом монтировать и поворачивать камеру так, как мне угодно. Хай.
Чё? А чё?
Это стрим, понимаешь? Это стрим. Все как есть, все как есть. Yeah, John Daly, he is the real lover of the outskirt videos. I have so many people telling me, oh, you only film the city centers. But every time I go to, well, this is not true. first thing. Another thing is that every time I go to the outskirts, I don't see all those fuckers. Coffee shop, кофейня. Hi.
Hello.
Okay, awesome park is there. It's actually an old park, but recently was completely renovated. That's why I'm thinking that soon it will come the queue for the square next to the Palace of Culture called Chemist, and they will renovate that fountain especially. That's what I want to believe. Okay, who was asking me about the murals? Meanwhile in Ufa, while in St. Petersburg and Moscow it's only 8 o'clock. Shawarma. Okay, look. The park. The benches, the flowers, workout zone, the police. You see that kiosk, police. The basketball and football fields. Rentals. Electric vehicles, bicycles, skates.
Не коснул. Да, давай не пизди, блин.
All right.
Давай 48. Не, ты сначала говоришь, давай 48.
Test your power. Not too bad. The fountain. when different holidays, local collectives perform there. For example, Maslenitsa, or the Victory Day, or the City's Day. Ice cream, вкусная еда, which is literally a tasty food. You see how they are self-confident. They are completely self-confident that their food is tasty food. Ida or Aida, it's Bashkir or Tatar. Let's go. Ida or Aida. 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 Huge playgrounds for kids. So this is Первомайский Park. And there's a Bark Park. I actually forgot about Bark Park. Let me show you the Bark Park. It's actually a park for me. Four images more. Is it policed? Just 2 minutes ago I used to show you the kiosk of the police, and now you're asking me if it's policed? Really, dude? Dude, really? No later did they know you were coming? Dude, I'm traveling all over Russia, and I've killed that stereotype that the only decent and clean towns in Russia are Moscow and St. Petersburg. So you really think that everywhere I go they cleaning up before me to come? Gosh, That's delusional. Alex Oliveira, place for dogs. Just a minute ago, I said this is Bark Park. You know what is Bark Park? It's literally a place for dogs. And you're asking me if it's a place for dogs? And here the guys often playing the chess. Всем привет.
Вот снимаете.
Это стрим. Это уже прям здесь и сейчас идет.
Прикольно. Как называется? Как канал называется?
Но он называется Баклыков Лайв, потому что я Баклыков, и это мой лайв, мой лайвстрим.
А вы где стримите, на Твиче?
Это уже идет.
Где?
На Ютубе.
А, на YouTube.
Да. Нет, YouTube. Я слишком стар для Твича. Я уже стар для Твича, понимаешь?
Идите название.
Давай веду.
Я подпишемся.
Неплохо.
Можно передать маме привет.
Вот.
Скинь мне. Спасибо большое.
Вот ты сейчас себя увидишь.
Ой-ой-ой. Ой-ой-ой.
Ну ладно, ребята.
Спасибо большое.
Давайте.
Удачного стрима.
Welcome. Спасибо. Yeah, they said that they will subscribe to my channel now. There's also the restaurant where I can hear the music, but I don't want to go close to that restaurant because the music will be recognized by the YouTube. And YouTube will demonetize my live stream. I mean, even without that, most of my live streams are getting demonetized because being in the streets here or there, but eventually there's the music which is getting recognized by YouTube and I'm getting demonetized. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and that is where I think it's gonna be a great place. Here's today's live stream. From the well, technically an outskirts of Ufa. It's northern district called Chernikovka. Originally developed back in the beginning of 1950s. Yet in the times of Stalin. My name is Sergey Baklykov. This is Baklykov Live. Stay tuned, keep watching. All the best from Ufa, from the capital of the Republic of Bashkortostan of Russia. See you guys. Panorama in the ends.